Today, let's dive into a project overview that we do, of course, from time to time. And we're going to be jumping into VeChain a little bit more because this is a blockchain that is built for people and their communities and the planet. We're going to find out what they are up to. So let me bring in Mr. Day coming in from VeChain. How are you?
Hey, Paul, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on.
So you guys are, listen, VeChain's been around for a long time. I've remembered this as one of the leading Web3 platforms back in 2021 when we saw really an explosion of Web3 projects. Where have you guys been? What have you been doing over the last few years?
That's the question I get asked all the time is, hey, I remember VeChain. You guys did a lot back in the day. You had Walmart, BMW. What have you guys been doing? And the interesting thing is that I think since then, VeChain has been continuing to build out use cases and applications for blockchain technology that companies and everyday people use every day. But somehow the rest of Web3 forgot to pay attention. And so while we've been off building DeFi, ETFs, finding more platforms for people to sell and buy crypto, digital asset treasuries, etc., the interest in building useful technology that people can use every day kind of fell away. People couldn't gamble on that. People couldn't make a quick buck out of digital transformation. And so the sad fact of life is we've been busy building B2B and B2C applications, gathering 5 million users on the vbetter.com platform, rewarding people for doing better actions every day. That's all been going on without people realizing that that's blockchain mass adoption every day at scale. And I want to help remind people that we're still here.
Okay, so building adoption, I think, is a key thing because obviously we'll see maybe what could be one of the best adoption cycles coming with all of what we're seeing right now in terms of growth in the crypto and the digital asset market in general. I'm looking at your website. So you've got this I see it and I understand for individuals. Explain what you do which would be around for businesses.
For sure. So from the early days, Sunny Liu, our founder and CEO, understood that from his background working with complex organizations, luxury goods, that there is a requirement to have a single source of truth, verified data. In modern day now, you have digital product passports, requirements for sustainable supply chain traceability, second, third, fourth tier. And that requirement is only going to get more stringent as we go. The early use cases for VeChain were around digital product passport, supply chain traceability with the likes of Walmart, BMW. More recently, we've looked at product authenticity with Lululemon. These are big global brands. These are Fortune 500 companies that are using blockchain technology every day. That was the narrative, I guess, if you want to call it that VeChain rode in on. And somewhere along the way, I was like, okay, that was fun. VeChain are continuing to deliver that technology. Those applications are still being used every week, every month to the tune of millions of transactions. What's next? And enterprise blockchain or mainstream adoption for B2B use cases kind of fell away in the public consciousness.
Okay.
Since then, the focus has been more about how do we now put blockchain technology and crypto into everyday people's hands? How do we get people to have an application on their iPhone or on their Android device that they use every day that makes meaningful use of Web3 and crypto technology? And that's what we're doing right now.
All right, so you mentioned a brand, Lululemon, because this is one of the big, fit brands out there that it's not like fast fashion. This is a major brand that in terms of clothing and the market that gets into young adults, people that maybe will understand this a little bit more, but you're talking about authenticity. Explain that. How does that work?
So in a number of different markets, counterfeit products is a particular challenge. And so whether you use QR codes, unique data, NFC chips, and so on, there's a number of different technology components that you can put together that give a greater assurance that a product is authentic. Lululemon obviously is a huge brand. They got a significant markup. There's a big challenge for them in making sure that people are buying authentic product for them. In certain markets and certain jurisdictions, they're losing millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to counterfeit products that looks like their product, but actually isn't. And so it's a constant struggle. Blockchain technology has been proven for years, since 2017, 2018, to be a useful technology to provide the base layer of data for multiple supply chain participants, multiple ingredient suppliers, and end manufacturers. And that then can interact with a verification device on mobile or whatever channel people tend to use.
Interesting. All right, so that could scale because I mean, this is a problem that we've seen in the space for some time, especially whether it's clothing industry, you could get this into luxury goods, all sorts of things that would roll around this. This has been one of the promises of Web3 for quite some time. I remember we've talked about this, hundreds of videos, I feel like, because it is a use case. How far are we from this becoming real everyday use?
This is real everyday use. It has been real everyday use since 2017, 2018. It just seems to be that people have forgotten or people haven't paid attention to the fact that it's happening. Or honestly speaking, most people don't care what CRM your company uses or what cloud device your company uses.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly speaking, this isn't that sexy most of the time. And people don't need to know what flavor of blockchain sits underneath your tracing device. It just needs to know that your product is authentic. And so we'll continue to do the B2B software as a service, infrastructure as a service work in the background, whether we get the plaudits for it or not. And the customers and the enterprises will continue to reap the benefits.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I saw this news on Paramount and UFC, and I'm looking at this. I don't know if you guys know that are following the video today, but there's been a big fight for what's going on with Warner Brothers. Paramount has been attempting to get access to it. It's a huge library, but of course Paramount is also partnered with UFC. If Paramount wins Warner Brothers, which would create a even deeper library, this could become a major partnership with what UFC is doing. And this already was a big deal because it was going to be removing pay-per-view. So I thought, well, who in crypto is connected to this? And then up pops VeChain. And I'm like, what? This is going to be amazing for them. So explain the partnership first when you guys did your deal with Dana, and what are you trying to do with it?
Yeah, so the UFC is a fantastic platform, 1 billion fans worldwide, fast growing, high octane, high visibility. This is, if you're looking for non-partisan sports, by that I mean, if you're going to get behind an audience that has an appreciation for technology, that has appreciation for innovation, that has a global reach, that if you sponsor the blue team, the red team doesn't hate you and vice versa. UFC is kind of universal. Maybe fans may pick one fighter or another, but everybody loves Dana. And so working with a platform that big is obviously significant in terms of reach. Working with someone like Dana as an entrepreneur, obviously he's got significant experience in growing different platforms, relationships with Meta on the board and further afield. It's a combination of both UFC or TKO more widely and Dana as a global entrepreneur. It starts with obviously helping to raise everyday awareness of Web3. That's where it started years and years ago. We've done a number of demonstrations of the technology with them around product authenticity, around using NFC chips and authentication for merchandise, which again is not something that's at scale today because frankly, the authenticity of UFC merchandise is not a big enough problem for them to care about compared to a Lululemon, for example. What I am interested in seeing is that VeChain's technology is used in the mainstream UFC app every day by fans to help them earn rewards for doing better every day. The BYB Build Your Body app was recently launched a few months ago in partnership with the UFC, which tracks the journey of a number of fighters, guys who were 300, 350 pounds, discovered MMA, found their way into the octagon and became champions.
Wow.
The BYB app allows people to watch workouts from standard workouts to fighter-specific workouts and get rewarded for doing so. And so Dana's view in that one is, I want my fans, I want the followers of UFC to become healthier. That's going to be more easy, more significant if we give them a little bit of a reward from time to time. And also we can track and log when people have verified workouts completed, and we can demonstrate the impact of our organization. That can benefit green financing, that can benefit purpose financing from banks, that can help reduce the cost of debt. There's a significant amount that the VBetter type apps can benefit organizations like the UFC, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, I think this is something intriguing because you look at the partnership here, and to your point, especially around Dana, they've done a really good job on the marketing aspect, but also expanding the reach, because even TKO partnered with Polymarket. They announced their first partnership there. I think this is only going to expand the UFC brand. Then you apply what you guys are doing with them. This could end up scaling in a lot of different areas. Where would you say right now you guys see the partnership going? If you could kind of manifest this out a couple of years with everything they're doing, where do you think this could go?
What I'd love to see is the existing VBetter apps. So there's 50 apps on vbetter.com that help reward people for doing better actions every day. That could be better for you physically, for your community, or for the planet. Now, not every UFC fan is going to be vision aligned with VeChain on doing better for the wider world, or people have struggles that are closer to home, right? So first up, if we can help people get healthier every day and help reward them for doing so, that's a good thing. If the UFC can look at the impact it's having on its fan base and genuinely become competitive for its fan base doing better, you've got 1 billion fans all around the world that you can catalyze to do something for your organization or for themselves every day, or for the UFC Foundation, or for a number of good causes that the UFC supports. The fan engagement and genuine engagement, by that I don't mean watching videos and watching highlights, I mean doing something in the world. If we can catalyze that fan base, if we can give them challenges, give them activities that can be activated in their mobile apps, and we can reward them for doing that every day, that's 365 billion individual actions that Dana can call the fans to every day, every year. That's huge. That's powerful. And we can do that with the tools we have available to us.
Well, and it's global. You know, this is a global phenomenon, what obviously the UFC has been able to do, but they're starting to migrate into other components of, you know, entrepreneurship to what, you know, Dana's doing. So he's definitely carrying this across. Maybe this partnership will, you know, start to accelerate in those areas as well. I'm looking at this upgrade you guys had just done, which is the Hayabusa. Is that right? Hayabusa?
Hayabusa is live.
Yeah, so explain what this does for VeChain, what's the benefit for it, and where are you going with this one?
So over the course of the last year, VeChain's been going through the biggest technical upgrades that it's had basically since launch to mainnet. I won't go through all of the technical details for the simple case of brevity. We've upgraded staking on the VeChain blockchain.
Okay.
Earning staking rewards is no longer going to be passive. So we are encouraging people to take active control of their stake, to have a better ability to secure the network. And so that will also have a benefit to the tokenomics for VTHO, VETHO, which is our reward token and also used for gas. It's a 2-token model on VeChain. VET generates VETHO. VETHO is used for gas fees on the network.
Got it.
2-token model simply for separation and make it more user-friendly for anybody building applications. If the governance token is the same as the gas token, you have all sorts of complexities like you've seen with Ethereum and others. Don't need to do more on that. But so VETHO will become more deflationary. We'll see more self-custodied staking of VET. So if you have VET on an exchange, you're not going to earn rewards anymore. Some exchanges also don't pass on their rewards to their customers for staking.
Right.
So you need to get to Stargate. Stargate is the platform on VeChain where you do your staking, and from that, you earn the rewards. Hayabusa takes it a level further, where now we have only 101 validators able to produce blocks at any one time. We are oversubscribed on validators right now. And you've seen institutions come in and become validators on the network. So they need to put stake up to become validators and produce blocks in exchange for block rewards. You see Fembushi, you see Draper Dragon in there. We have KOLs becoming validators too. Wendy O and more coming soon. So you actually start having validators with personalities, validators with purpose. In Wendy's case, particularly offering some of her staking rewards to charity as part of her commitment, while also helping raise awareness for VeChain. The engagement with the staking side of VeChain now has more personality, has greater security, and has greater decentralization. So it's a whole bunch of different upgrades all at once.
I like it. Well, the fact that you're doing all of these things at once, I'm looking at your Twitter account, which you guys aren't following VeChain over on X to it right now. It's VeChain Official. But the fact that you guys have all of this occurring at one time, I mean, what does the roadmap look like for 2026 if you're this active right now?
So we've still got more to do. Interstellar is the final stage of the renaissance. There's going to be more technical upgrades that will make it easier for builders, for interoperability with VeChain. That's still coming. Honestly speaking, my priority for 2026 is more adoption of VBetter applications, more use of people using vbetter.com applications every day, and being able to integrate with partners like the UFC. We're talking to other major sporting properties. We're talking to other major enterprises, those who have a demand for sustainable actions, right? So whether that's using reusable coffee mugs, whether that's using public transport, decreasing your carbon footprint, using electric vehicles, there are 50 different ways every day that people can earn rewards for doing sustainable or better actions. As I said, for themselves, for their community, or for the planet. There are hundreds, if not millions, of organizations in the world who want to catalyze that impact, to have a positive impact on the world, which also has a bunch of business benefits for them. If we can partner with those organizations, have their customers start validating those sustainable actions every day on VeChain, we're driving the right type of actions, we're driving use of the technology, we're rewarding people for doing good in the world. That's going to be a key to our growth over the next few weeks and months. So that's where a lot of our energy is going right now.
I like it. And the Builders Hub, I was looking at your website here. What exactly is this? So is this where you're helping companies and developers start to build on it, or how does this work?
Absolutely. We've got about 300 enterprise applications from all sorts of different major enterprises on the B2B side. Okay. On the B2C side with VBetter, we've got 50 and growing applications. Anybody who wants to look through documentation, videos, who want to apply for grants, we have a great founders program on VBetter as well. This is the place to do it. You've got examples, code repos, anything you need. You can go to the Builders Hub on VeChain.org and you can start your journey there. You've even got an introductory video from Sunny there that talks about what it's like to be the founder of a blockchain. Definitely watch that one. That took some serious production, but there's a lot of real great nuggets of experience and wisdom in there from surviving and thriving through many different cycles of Web3.
Well, you know, it's interesting because Web3 is I think it was one of the cornerstones of even our own channel when we first started really reporting on blockchain. Web3 was, I felt, going to be one of the breakouts. And, you know, it's kind of like the internet. It becomes one of those things that are kind of hidden in plain sight, where we're going to start seeing more and more adoption exactly to the use cases that you guys have done so far. So intriguing that all this has been going on. I'm glad that we got a chance to cover it, because this, I think, will open some eyes for a lot of people understanding what you guys are up to, but also, more importantly, what Web3 is up to as a whole, which is cool. So thanks so much for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that.
You bet. All right, so you guys know what to do. If you're not in our own private member group, get in right now. And the way we do it is very simple. It's free. All you have to do is hit the link down below. That'll get you in. Follow me out there on X, @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on The Paul Barron Show.